In this tutorial we will be going through the introduction of ABC and a brief overview of the core components and 5 stages of ability activation. ABC is a Unity extension which allows you to easily add combat and combat-related mechanics to your games. With ABC you can create or add weapons, attacks, magic projectiles, heals, barriers, buffs, debuffs, blocking, parrying, stats, AI, targeting and a whole lot more which will be covered in future tutorials. ABC can be downloaded from the Unity Asset Store. You can also grab additional expansion packs to add more weapons and abilities and integrate with other tools on the Asset Store. Once installed you will notice that ABC comes with 2 main components. The ABC controller is required for creating and activating abilities, targeting objects, managing AI and ability grouping. The component once added to your character game objects can open up 2 editor windows: the Ability Manager and ABC Controller. Clicking on either button from the inspector will bring up the relevant editor window. The Ability Manager is where local abilities can be created or global abilities can be added. Clicking on any ability in the list will load its settings, which are grouped in tab sections. There is no limit to how many abilities can be created or added. During gameplay, ABC will start from the top of the ability list, checking activation conditions like input triggers, combo logic, mana requirements, targeting filters and if ability is enabled and not on cooldown. If all the right conditions are met it will activate the ability, otherwise the next ability in the list will be checked. Abilities in the list can be reordered by pressing the Enable Drag Mode button, giving you the possibility for certain abilities to be checked for conditions as a priority before others. An example of priority is making sure any temporarily enabled abilities like counterattacks from a successful parry sit above your basic attack combo with the same key trigger. The core structure of an ability can be broken down to the following sections: main graphic, trigger and combo settings, starting position, a travel type, collider settings, animations and impact, and effect settings. The mission for ABC is to allow you to create any number of attacks and abilities. We have yet to find an ability which cannot be created, and we hope you enjoy playing around. The ABC controller window is where all other functionality outside of abilities is set up. This includes setting up weapons, icons, targeting, mana, AI, ability grouping and diagnostics. Any setting which doesn't directly relate to ability configuration will be found in this editor window. The second main component is the ABC State Manager. This needs to be added to objects along with a collider to receive ability effects and be known by the ABC system for other functionality and interaction. The component once attached can open up an editor window. The editor window is where health, stats, hit animations and ABC tags can be configured. If an entity does not have the State Manager component, then it will not interact with abilities during play. There is also an Effect Watcher section which can track what effects are currently on the entity and a history of what effects the object previously had, which can be used for diagnostic. The last part to mention about ABC is the global portal, which allows you to quickly set up battle-ready characters and create, edit or add global abilities. Global abilities, weapons and effects can be added to an infinite number of characters, and any configuration changes to global elements will be applied to all. Abilities once triggered go through 5 stages, some being optional. Activation: once triggered the ability will activate, starting the process of appearing in the game. The ability can be triggered through different events like a key press, icon click or activating automatically through the AI system. Depending on settings, if ability before target is enabled, then at this stage the user will be required to pick a target to activate the ability on. After activation the ability enters preparation stage. This stage is skipped if no preparation time has been defined. At the preparation stage, the ability will wait a certain amount of time before moving to the initiation stage. During preparation, the entity activating the ability can perform animations, effects can appear, and GUI can be set up to show the preparation progress. The preparation stage can be interrupted in certain situations depending on configuration. The initiation stage, the ability object is created in-game with all the settings which have been set up. During initiation, the entity activating the ability can perform animations and effects can show. A delay can also be applied as to when the ability object is created. Once reaching the initiation stage, this allows for any animations to play out before the ability appears in-game, which can aid in timing melee attacks, and when a fireball should appear after the entity animates a hand into position. Once initiated, the ability will appear in-game and will travel in different ways depending on setup. There is also options for the ability to not travel, or for melee attacks travel with an object it's attached to, leaving it up to animations to move the ability around. It is at this point that the ability will interact with other objects, colliding and applying effects. The final stage of an ability is the object being disabled and the ability being removed from play. The ability will end via different methods, like after a set duration or on collision with another object. At this stage, effects can appear simulating that the ability is being disabled, i.e. an explosion when a fireball hits an object. That concludes our introduction of the core parts of ABC. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, ready to be notified of the next tutorials which will cover more in-depth functionality and provide guides on how to set up combat in your game.